Well, in the main topic, approaches to curriculum design, we have looked at some approaches, some starting points, some processes, and two models: focused, opportunistic, and layers of necessity model. But the question now needs to be considered is how to decide on an approach for practically, implementing for the implementation of language curriculum design. Well, let's discuss how we can decide about an approach and what are some of the implications involved while we make decisions about, the application of an approach. Well, we have, after discussion of processes and models, two models, and starting points, we've got some points to start with, and these points, have their significance for language curriculum design in terms of giving us a direction, a roadmap. Okay, so when we think of choosing, deciding about an approach, we need to be careful, and we need to think of various constraints. For example, we need to think of, do we have enough time? Do we have enough resources? So, well, deciding on an approach isn't an easy task, as it appears to be, apparently, but it involves various factors, the time and resources, and, the manpower, the teaching staff. So the implication in this, throughout the discussion about approaches to curriculum design, is that we need to be systematic while deciding about an approach. What I mean by systematic is that, for example, if we think of a focused opportunistic model, and if there is a necessity of layers model, we shouldn't be dogmatic in our approach to that we're gonna employ a focused opportunistic model. Rather, if need arises, we could stick to the other one. So this is how we could become quite flexible and systematic in our approach towards employing, deciding about an approach towards curriculum. Well, the parts of the curriculum are needs analysis, as just briefly speaking, environment analysis, setting up goals, syllabus design, quality teaching, evaluation, just in brief. So a good curriculum aims to give a sort of coverage to all these elements involved, and ensures that each part is given equal emphasis. Well, if on the other hand, if there is a poor curriculum, and it might miss out needs analysis, and it might not be sure about goals, content, and sequencing on format and presentation. Well, so far, under the main topic of approaches to language curriculum design, we have taken a good look at some of the theoretical and practical issues involved in language curriculum design. So these approaches actually represent how we can assess the constraints, our ways of assessing constraints. For example, these approaches have informed us how we can address the issues of time and skills, whether we have teachers who are skillful, who are specialized, and having expertise in the understanding of the soul area. And it's our job, whether we are designing a language curriculum or whether we are evaluating it, So we need to pay attention to each part of language curriculum design. And so the main objective of this course, which I continue to reiterate throughout the course, is that we need to be clear about different parts of the curriculum and their interconnection, and what theoretical and practical issues there, and how we can apply those steps in a practical way. So in brief, deciding on an approach for language curriculum design requires systematic and flexible approach. If, for example, we are designing a small course, designing a small curriculum, so no matter what constraints are there, but if we are required just to stick to the textbook, we will continue, we'll have starting point with the textbook, but we could later on decide about encouraging teachers to create materials and use them, and use authentic materials in the classroom.